Greetings viewers and subscribers. So in today's journey, we are going to continue where we left off yesterday. We are going to be traveling along South Camp Road. We are heading down South Camp Road. We are going to go down and take the right turn. We are going to continue driving. We are back on our way to the country. Sit back, relax, and drive with me. And yes, Kingstonians, I see you come at me yesterday. We started the journey at Old Hope Road, not Hope Road. My apologies to you. We started on Old Hope Road. Alright, Kingstonians, big up on yourself. So, today, we have a few stories for you. The final story is about a hard-working man who was taken out at his business place. It was an act of reprisal, but he had nothing to do with what he was taken out for. You're gonna want to stick around for that video. We're also gonna show you a video of the man who was taken out because he was living in Canada. He operated a business in Canada. So we're gonna show you a video of him working in Canada. Stand by for that. But first up, we got this police report. What we're gonna do is read the report to you. We're gonna ask you to drop your comments in the comment section about this report. No one in the report has been charged as yet, so we're not gonna give you their full names. What we're gonna do is give you their initials. So here goes. The complainant in this case is a woman constable, MJ. The suspect is a detective constable, DC. Woman constable MJ, she's attached to the Protective Services Division in Kingston, whilst Detective Constable DC is attached to CTAC. Now the reports are that Detective Constable DC, he is currently on 70 days vacation leave. He is involved in relationships with two woman constable. One of them is woman constable MJ, and the other one is woman constable TJ. Both woman constables each have a child for this detective constable. You following me so far? This is not sus. This is not rumor. We are reading from an actual police report. On Monday, July 26, 2021, Detective Constable DC, he was at the Franklin Town Police Station in Kingston doing some private work when woman constable TJ, who was off duty, went there to visit him. Whilst there, woman constable MJ also attended the station because apparently she got word that Detective Constable DC and woman constable TJ were at the station. She went to the station and a dispute started with all three of them. Woman constable MJ, she used a pepper spray to spray woman constable TJ. Other officers at the station got involved and the dispute was quelled. The three police officers, they then departed the station to different locations. Detective Constable DC, he later met up with woman constable TJ and carried her to Old Harbor where she lived. Woman constable TJ, she doesn't drive, but woman constable MJ, she drive a motor vehicle. So Detective Constable DC, he carried woman constable TJ to Old Harbor where she lived. But guess what? On their arrival at Old Harbor, woman constable MJ, was parked at the gate because she suspected that Detective Constable DC would be carrying home Woman Constable TJ. Are you following me so far? If you are not, you need to rewind and start over again. So, Woman Constable MJ, she was parked at the gate of Woman Constable TJ. Detective Constable DC decided that he's not going to stop, so he drove straight to the Old Harbour police station. Whilst at the station, both Detective Constable DC and Woman Constable TJ, they exited the vehicle. Guess what happened? Woman Constable MJ trailed them to the police station. The allegations are that Detective Constable DC, he observed that Woman Constable MJ was driving her vehicle towards him as if she wanted to run the vehicle over him. As a result, it is said that he pulled his Glock 9mm pistol and fired 3 shots in the ground. Woman Constable MJ, who had already pepper sprayed Woman Constable TJ, she stopped the vehicle, came out and told Detective Constable DC that she was shot. She then jumped back in her vehicle and drove to the Spanish Town Hospital. It is said that she later turned up at the Spanish Town police station where she made a report. Indicom and the Jamaica Constabulary Force, they are carrying out investigations. So 3 police officers involved in a love triangle. Both ladies have a child for this policeman. Jealousy is reigning. Pepper spray was used. Gun was drawn. Shots were fired. One policewoman is claiming that she was injured by bullets or by a bullet. Let's wait on the conclusion of investigation. But if you have a comment, drop it in the comment section. Moving right along. Now, yesterday we carried the story of Sherieka Gordon, and we had promised to update the story because the information we were getting were preliminary. So, here is the full story. It took place on Monday, the 26th of July 2021, about 7:30 p.m. It took place at a place named Top Hill Retreat in the Little London police area in the parish of Westmoreland. Now, our information is that Sharika's boyfriend, his first name is Matthew. He's 27 years old and he's said to be a businessman from Sheffield in Westmoreland. He drove his white Subaru Impreza motor car to drop off Sharika at her home at Top Hill in Westmoreland. On reaching Sharika's driveway, the information is that a motorcycle drove up with 2 men on board. The pillion, like we said yesterday, he brandished a gun and opened gunfire in the vehicle. Matthew, he was hit in his left armpit, while Sharika, she was hit to the left side of her neck and her left thigh. Matthew, he managed to drive the car to the Little London police station where the police transported both of them to the Savlamar hospital. On arrival at the hospital, Sharika, she was pronounced DEAD, whilst Matthew, he has been admitted in hospital in a serious condition. Remember we told you, he was hit under his left armpit. The motor vehicle, it got damaged to the windscreen and the front left door. It is said that Matthew, he was the target for these hoodlums. Now, if you are here and you are watching the video, remember to hit on the like button. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, we are moving on to 23,000 subscribers. Be a part of that 23,000. In the final story for today, now we carried a story last week. It was about an incident that took place at Cave District. That story was about a man, a bike taxi operator, who was taken out. His name is Richard Allen. He was taking a man who was coming from court up the hills. I'm gonna drop a link to that video in the description so you can click on it and listen to that video, because we had given you a long background as to how far this is coming from. Mr. Sheldon Kilbourne, he celebrated his 44th birthday 2 weeks ago, the 11th of July. He was the owner and operator of a black factory at Cave District in Westmoreland. Mr. Kilbourne, he was living in Canada. He was married with kids in Canada. Whilst in Canada, he used to operate a business named Canada Inc. Moving and Delivery. The video we are going to show you now is Sheldon and one of his jobs. Sheldon, he returned to Jamaica a few years ago, and since he returned, he has been operating this black factory. Sheldon is the employer of some young men from Aldeer, Waterwheel, and Cave District. Very hard working man. On Tuesday, the 27th of July 2021, about 3:40 p.m., Sheldon, he was at his business place. He was in the process of operating a forklift. He was loading building blocks onto a truck when our information is that two men rode up on a motorcycle. Now, almost every week or almost every other day, whenever we carry a crime that takes place in Westmoreland, most times it's two men riding up on a motorcycle. This is not saying that it's the same two men who is carrying out the acts, but most of the criminals in Westmoreland, this is their modus operandi: riding up on a motorcycle. So, if you happen to be in Westmoreland and you are at certain spots, well, no matter where you are, whenever you see two men riding up on a motorcycle, stay on the alert. Don't leave nothing to chance. I am not trying to make you paranoid or be afraid. We are talking about the reality of what is happening. So, it is said that two men rode up on a motorcycle. The pillion passenger, he brandished a gun and opened fire on Sheldon whilst he was in the forklift. The two hoodlums, they then make good their escape on the motorcycle. Our information is that they rode off towards Savlamar direction. Sheldon, he was hit in his head and his upper body. It is suspected that he succumbed to his injuries on the spot. One of his workers, he's called Dummy. He was also shot in his groin. He was taken to the Savlamar hospital where he has been admitted in a stable condition. Sheldon, like we said, it is suspected that he died on the spot. But like we always tell you, he has to be taken to the hospital. So Sheldon, he was taken to the Savlamar hospital where he was pronounced DEAD. Now, our information, like we said, is that this attack is in reprisal to last week's attack. The residents of Cave and Aldeer, the law-abiding residents, they are now on edge because Sheldon, he wasn't involved in anything. He wasn't a sponsor for any criminality. It is believed that he was taken out simply because he's from Aldeer in Westmoreland. So do you think it a go so? We might wish, we might hope that that is the end of it. But do you think that is the end of it? Based on what is happening in Jamaica, I don't think that's the end of it. The mayhem continues. Blessed love, everybody.